Alright, check this out. I got my Snap Circuits fire alarm panel off the wall right now because the adhesives let go, and I'm currently in the working stages of System Test 18, even though the system's been in this half-developed state for like 4 months now. That's kind of beside the point, because while the panel's on the ground, I thought I'd try this little experiment where I power a real fire alarm with a Snap Circuits fire alarm panel. So what I have here is I have the panel on the ground, still hooked up to normal power, but then instead of having the panel's power running through the relay to power 6-volt Snap Circuits devices, I have my benchtop power supply set to 24 volts DC running through the relay to power my True Alert, which is a 4-wire free-run device. Then the strobe is set on SmartSync so that it flashes when the panel code's in march time. I also added a bunch more capacitors to the coil side of the relay so that the on time of the march time cycle is a little longer, allowing me to decrease the speed to about 150 beats per minute if I want the on-off time to be about equal. So with all that out of the way, check this out. I have a real fire alarm running off of the Snap Circuits fire alarm panel. I never thought this was possible because the Snap Circuits relays are only rated for 6 volts, but I had no clue that that was only the coil voltage and that it can switch much higher voltages than just 6. This has been a dream of mine for many, many years now, and it's the reason I first designed this panel, because in my original sketches, which I can no longer find, I actually drew this hooked up to my Commander 3 and my BG-12. So the great news about this is that now I should be able to create a whole system of real fire alarms with this panel and, have an actual system with, like, this True Alert and my Spectra Alert and the MT on the ground, and I might actually just end up hooking it up to my fire alarm board over here and rewiring it so that the pull stations trip the panel. Of course, I also do have plans to rebuild this panel to have multiple zones, possibly a 7-segment display, or multiple NACs, we'll see, and just some newer functionality, including voice-of-act capability and some other things like that. But for now, I just have this panel in its current setup, and I think I might just end up putting it back on the wall, filming System Test 18, and then either rebuilding the panel then for a new fire alarm system made out of Snap Circuits, or I'll rebuild the panel and then put it for the real fire alarms on this system, or I might even create a whole new one using this box that's already up here. So I have a lot of options ahead of me, and this is just one step towards some much greater fire alarm projects, which I haven't really gotten to work on as of late. But yeah, there's also just kind of a little update for all of that, so thank you guys for tuning in.